Have you ever imagined if everything you wanted could come true? If all your dreams came true? It seems impossible, but here's the secret: it's totally possible. What I'm going to show you is a powerful philosophy of life, Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on ourselves, our actions, our reactions, and our mindset. He shows us how, by doing this, we can shape our reality and achieve extraordinary things. In this video, we will explore 15 Stoic keys that can help you achieve this transformation. And the best? Each key is accompanied by a quote from a Stoic philosopher that perfectly illustrates its meaning. So settle in and prepare for a journey into the heart of Stoicism. Oh, and before we move on, I'd love it if you could like the video, so it reaches a lot more people. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any content. Now let's move on to the first Stoic key, ataraxia, inner peace. Ataraxia is a Greek term meaning inner peace or imperturbability. For the Stoics, true happiness is not in external things or in the approval of others, but in the tranquility of the mind. Ataraxia comes from accepting life as it is, without wishing things were different. They believed that we cannot control external events, but we can control how we react to them. When we can free ourselves from expectations and accept reality, we find inner peace. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "It is not things that disturb us, but the opinions we have about them." In other words, our peace depends on how we interpret events, not on the events themselves. Cultivating this inner peace helps us focus on what really matters, our personal growth. Key 2, amor fati. Love fate. The second Stoic key is amor fati, which means love fate. This invites us to accept, and more than that, love everything that life brings us, the good and the bad. Instead of resisting challenges or lamenting adversities, the Stoics teach us to embrace them as part of our path. Love fati is seeing each experience, no matter how difficult it may be, as something necessary for our growth. Everything we experience has a purpose and brings valuable lessons. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest exponents of Stoicism, said, "Accept whatever comes to you in the pattern of your destiny, for what happens is what best meets your needs." Key 3, proc, mindfulness. The third Stoic key is proc, which means mindfulness. For Stoics, living in the present is essential, and this involves being fully aware of our actions, thoughts, and emotions. Proc is the practice of fully immersing yourself in each moment without judgment. This means being aware that we only have control over what we do and how we react now. No getting lost in what has already happened or what could happen. Epictetus left us with a powerful lesson. Do not ask for things to happen as you wish, but want things as they happen, and you will be happy. This phrase reminds us of the importance of accepting reality and focusing our energies on the present, on actions that we can truly control. By practicing mindfulness, you learn to live in the here and now, freeing yourself from anxiety about what is out of your reach. Key 4, eudaimonia, the good life. Eudaimonia, the fourth Stoic key, translates as good life or happiness. But calm down, for the Stoics, true happiness does not come from fleeting pleasures or accumulating possessions. It is about living virtuously and with purpose. Eudaimonia arises when we act in accordance with our true nature, which for the Stoics means living with virtue and righteousness. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has little, but the man who desires more who is poor." This phrase is a clear reminder that our true wealth is not in material possessions, but in our character and actions. By focusing on a life guided by virtue and purpose, you find lasting satisfaction that goes beyond outward appearances. Key 5, memento mori, remember death. The fifth key is the provocative memento mori, which translates to remember you are going to die. Far from being morbid, this concept serves as an invitation to live with more intensity and purpose. Reflecting on death motivates us to value the present and to live each day as if it were our last. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Think of yourself as if you were already dead. You lived your life. Now take what's left and live right. This phrase reminds us that each new day is a gift and that we should use it in the best way possible. By practicing memento mori, you learn to value each moment, living with a healthy sense of urgency and gratitude, focusing on what really matters. Key 6, in Kate, self-control. The sixth Stoic key is enchantment, which refers to self-control. The Stoics knew that self-control is the basis of a virtuous life. It is the ability to maintain control over our actions, thoughts, and emotions, especially in times of temptation or challenge. Self-control allows us to live in accordance with our values, without being dragged down by external impulses or circumstances. Epictetus reminded us, freedom does not come from the abundance of things one possesses, but from the absence of desire. This teaches us that true self-control does not mean repressing what we feel, but rather freeing ourselves from desires that take us out of focus. By practicing enchantment, you gain control over your actions and emotions, which allows you to focus on what really matters to your personal growth. Key 7, affiliation, belonging. The seventh key is affiliation, or the sense of belonging. The Stoics believed that we are part of a larger community and that we have a responsibility to contribute to the well-being of everyone around us. Being a member of something bigger means recognizing our connections with others and acting with that in mind. Our actions not only affect ourselves, but also have a significant impact on those around us. Therefore, practicing affiliation means understanding this interdependence and acting so that our behavior reflects the collective good. Hierocles, the Stoic philosopher, brought a vision that invites us to reconsider our connections with the world at different layers. Imagine concentric circles, where you are at the center, surrounded by family, friends, your local community, humanity as a whole, and ultimately the cosmos. These circles are not just abstract figures. They represent how our bonds expand and influence each other. The more we understand this structure, the more we realize that our actions, however small they may seem, can resonate beyond the limits of what we see. What would happen if you started thinking about the impact of each small choice? How would this transform the way you interact with the world? This brings us to the eighth Stoic key, love for humanity. For the Stoics, kindness and generosity are not calculated acts or secondary interests, but rather a central part of life. Practicing kindness, selflessly, without expecting any type of reward, reveals a deep understanding that we all belong to a single human community. Seneca, one of the great teachers of Stoicism, stated, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for goodness." How many opportunities do we miss every day because we don't notice the simple power of a kind action? Every encounter, every person we cross, is a chance to leave the world a little better than we found it. This makes us reflect. What would your life be like if you started acting this way, not just for your own benefit, but as a duty towards humanity? Now, let's move on to moderation, the ninth key. In a world that seems to be constantly pushing us towards excess, whether in consumption, emotions, or pleasures, the Stoics remind us that true happiness lies in balance. Epictetus, in his Reflections, puts it simply and powerfully. True wealth does not consist in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Think about it. In a society obsessed with accumulating, what would happen if, instead of seeking more, you started wanting less? What could this release in you? This radically contrary perspective to the idea that more is better challenges the way we deal with our priorities and even how we measure our success. What do you really need to be happy? Could it be that the secret lies in cutting back on excess? We come to the 10th key, differentiating what we can control from what we cannot. Herein lies one of the most transformative lessons of Stoicism. Many of us spend an absurd amount of time trying to change what is beyond our reach, and we inevitably become frustrated. Epictetus offers us a simple but profoundly powerful solution. It is not things that trouble us, but our opinions about them. Doesn't that awaken something in you? It is not the situation itself that generates our anguish, but how we perceive it. If we change the way we react to circumstances, we change the quality of our life. What would your daily routine be like if you stopped worrying about the uncontrollable and focused on what is actually in your hands? The ability to filter what we can and cannot control is a direct path to serenity. The 11th key addresses a practice that may seem counterintuitive to many, visualizing future adversity. But instead of being a pessimistic stance, this mentally prepares us for the unexpected. Imagine you prepare to face a difficult challenge, like a storm that may or may not happen. When it arrives, you are not taken by surprise. Marcus Aurelius and other Stoics suggested that the wise always consider adversity as a possibility, thus being better equipped to deal with it when it occurs. This does not make us paranoid, but resilient. How would you react if, instead of fearing what could go wrong, you mentally prepared yourself to face any scenario? Wouldn't it be liberating to know that no matter what happens, you're prepared? This reflection leads us to the next key. We are all part of something bigger. For the Stoics, this understanding is vital. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, said, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." This metaphor makes us realize that our individual actions affect the entire system of which we are part. Think about the times your decisions impacted others, even in ways you hadn't anticipated. If you start to see the world through this lens, how would that influence your daily choices? Each small action can have a chain effect, and this perception encourages us to act more consciously, knowing that the impact does not stop with us. And then we come to verity, or excellence of character, the 13th key. For the Stoics, living a virtuous life is the highest goal. True happiness lies not in external circumstances, but in cultivating our virtues and living according to our deepest values. Epictetus puts it brilliantly. Do not seek for events to happen as you wish, but wish for events to happen as they happen, and your life will be peaceful. What would happen if, instead of fighting the current, you accepted things as they are and focused solely on developing your character? How would this change the way you approach life's challenges and frustrations? Stoicism is not a distant philosophy, stuck in the past, is a practical guide for everyday life. These keys offer a unique opportunity to transform your worldview by cultivating virtues, living in moderation, and understanding your role as part of a larger community, both on Earth and in the cosmos. By applying these ideas to your life, what could change your perspective? How could this open doors to a more serene, fulfilling, and meaningful existence? Best of all, we're just beginning to explore these timeless lessons. Let's continue on this journey together, diving deeper into what it truly means to live according to Stoic philosophy, and how each of these keys can unlock new ways of understanding yourself and the world around you. Embarking on this Stoic journey is opening the doors to a more balanced, full, and connected life with what really matters. With each key we unlock, we get a little closer to understanding that we're the masters of our actions and reactions, and that true power lies in how we choose to live according to our values, regardless of what the world throws at us. By practicing love for humanity, moderation, and differentiating what is within our control, we begin to transform not only our lives, but also the impact we leave on the world. If these ideas spark something in you, don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel for more content that will help you deepen your understanding of Stoicism and other practical philosophies for life. And of course, if you found this video useful, share it with your friends and family. Who knows, maybe you're helping someone find a new way of seeing the world? Don't forget to leave your comment below. We want to know what you think and how you are applying these ideas in your daily life. And lastly, turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Until next time, and continue steadfast in your pursuit of a virtuous and meaningful life.